And hello and welcome to another episode of Past the Remote. Of course, I am Joe. Over there is Midge. And we are going to be talking about a lot of good stuff, especially the shows of the week where, S.H.I.E.L.D. was great, Super ended, and of course, the start of Krypton. Now, I did see somebody say, like a couple cast episodes back, that they did want us to talk about the pilot. We did watch it. Mitch is probably not going to watch the rest of it. I am, but we'll get into that more later. Of course, patreon.com/comicbookcast, because there we have a bunch of stuff. Pacific Rim was delayed and will be up soon, possibly by the time you hear this. It'll be up, so if you are a Patreon pledger or patron, whatever, at the $10 level, you will be able to see the Pacific Rim audio commentary that will be coming out soon. Like I said, possibly later as you're hearing this. And of course, we already have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 100th episode commentary. We have a topics cast, which people love. People loved the topics cast, especially when we were creating our crossover, our ideal crossover between Marvel and DC Comics, which I loved doing. I loved randomly just like, all right, who do we got? Who do we get? It's like picking a team or something like that. Made me feel like a general manager. And of course, Google us, because that's how you'll find all the links available for us. Twitter, Facebook, and all that. YouTube. It's all on there. I don't even think I said our hat. So I'm at Halftime Joe. He's at Mitch692 on Twitter. If you use Vero, you can go find that. But you ain't gonna find me on that anymore.
I mean, you could find you on it, but
yeah, well, that's true. It's true. You can technically find me on it, but I don't know if you'll find me doing anything because I still haven't gotten used to it. Which makes me sound like an old person. I hate it because I haven't got used to it.
Welcome to my.
For sure. Remember, we did say I am past the time or whatever. I was losing the youth in one of these casts.
It's all down. It's all downhill from here, guys.
It's all downhill. So with that, I think we have said everything we need to say. We do have some good news to talk about. At least the trailer, that we're gonna be talking about right now, which is Marvel's Cloak and Dagger official trailer. Number one, Mitch. This is the first official trailer, not like number 3. I know you initially said it, but it's weird how this is the first trailer, but it feels like it's like the 4th or something.
I mean, I'm pretty certain it's the 3rd. It's the 3rd one.
Marvel put trailer number 1, or they're lying to us.
I'm actually gonna just double check to see.
Yeah, it's.
And I misspelled dagger, and a very that could have been bad.
It is Marvel's Cloak and Dagger trailer number 1, which I guess.
Oh no, we've had a sneak peek. A promo spot.
And a teaser. Probably.
Yeah.
Weird how, we kind of... Those
even though
enough.
they've been all trailer length.
Yeah.
Maybe one's been a minute long. Yeah. But like the one a year ago was a trailer length.
Yeah, the first one that we saw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They caught me out.
It's just weird, but this one does give more of the story per se. And actually, what you'll be able to see.
It sets up the premise or synopsis.
Yeah, it's really good. I think my favorite shot of this is when he's in the locker room, right? And you just see him, like, his powers are manifesting and he's trying to control it.
He's got all the after effects around him.
Yeah, yeah. That to me is, like, different than a lot of the... Because, he's in school and he has a personal life and... There's something this crazy is happening to him, and it feels like something we haven't seen before in a way. I guess Homecoming tried to get that, but this is, of course, is even on a smaller scale than Homecoming.
Yeah, it's on a very small scale.
Yeah, which I very
you're
much
not going to get a crashing plane in this one.
No. So that's what I loved about this one, that it just kind of shows the scope and how small it is, and how he's just in a locker room and he has his powers that are really powerful, but he has to watch out, So, I mean, what was your kind of takeaway from this?
I don't know. I honestly preferred the
first one.
Not the first trailer, but the one before this we got.
Okay,
I don't know. It was a bit more. I don't know. It just had a bit more to it. This one.
This just seems like the pilot. Like
in
a minute 30.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. That's a good.
Which, I mean, if you're gonna get somebody to watch the show, I guess just show them everything in the minute 30. Just condense it for them, right?
Yeah. I mean, I like this. Like they're diving into the Like they're not the only ones. Like, they
Oh yeah,
have.
yeah. That was the thing that I was gonna mention to you too. I don't know too much of like the experiments they went through in the comics and such like that, but there were more, right?
Yeah, they weren't the first
Okay, just making
ones.
sure.
And as it,
Cause
I'm trying to remember, and
yeah,
I haven't actually looked into it. Like they say in the trailer that like one dies.
and one
Um,
lives.
and I'm like, I can't remember if that was actually a thing
See, that's the
that was
season one
supposed to
thing,
happen.
probably, right? Like they have to figure out
Uh,
how to both be alive. It's probably gonna be the
yeah.
season one thing. But yeah, because in the beginning she's or this lady says something about like they always come in pairs, and you know that
The divine pairing.
yeah, the divine pairing, and it's could it be more so than just doing science experiments? Could it be something alien like a Kree? I mean,
No,
this is
no,
in the universe as you know, even
no.
though it's so not disconnected, but it's isolated. This is technically in the universe. There's Kree out there. There's Avengers.
Yeah, yeah. You're not gonna get anything like that.
Okay, nothing like that. No like secret like a mind stone or something.
No, no.
Okay, because they make it sound like super like that, and I'm okay. I wouldn't be against it. You know what I'm saying? I'm all into the cosmic Marvel, but this is would be
I
too.
mean,
This is too isolated for that, right?
Cloak and Dagger need to be as far away from the cosmic side as possible.
Okay.
Like, they should never. I mean, sure, Cloak plays a part in like the Infinity Gauntlet, but uh,
Doesn't she? Oh no! In Secret Empire, she lights up all in
I
you.
mean, Secret Empire,
My
yeah,
bad. Yeah.
she's the beacon
Yeah.
in New York.
Yeah. That one was a good one. I mean, of course, that's comics and live action stuff. It's really different, and you can't do it all like that.
Oh, yeah,
Which would be cool if you just randomly saw Cloak and Dagger in Infinity War, but that's you can't.
yeah,
That's not how
never
it
gonna
works
happen.
in
Never gonna
the real
happen.
world. Comics, it's easy to do like that,
Yeah.
which is why
It
we love
also helps in
comics.
the comics they're based in New York, not
I mean,
in
that's
New Orleans. So
oh, are they in New Orleans in this one? Okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay, that makes sense.
That's how they get away. Like they're starting to spread out through the states, so they're not
Where's
just
Texas,
dumping
bro?
everything. Uh,
Isn't it
next
no?
to New Orleans, isn't it?
No, but
Not
isn't there?
far off it.
Isn't there like I swear there's one of them where they talk about something about Texas. Oh, and Thor Ragnarok they mention like these are the firearms or you know what I'm saying? Like you got these from
Yeah,
a
you
land
got
called
'em from
Texas,
Texas. Yeah,
which is
not
everybody
scared.
died in my not literally died, but they like they died laughing. So
Laughing. They died.
laughing. That's not a word. But I mean, it looks good. I mean, there's nothing more. Like it's not like I needed to see this trailer. Like I was already on
No,
board. You
I
were
think
on
that's the
board.
thing. It was kind of really close to the other one, and we still got a couple of months. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It just felt a bit unnecessary. I liked what it did, and the whole
Sure,
the
sure, sure.
universe is pulling us together, universe is pushing us apart. And it's like, yes, that's.
There is
I,
somebody in the comments of the trailer that says, "Are the Marvel TV show characters gonna show up in Infinity War or what?" None of them are in the trailers. Sorry to disappoint you, buddy. That's not how
just
it
think they're in
works.
the same place as Hawkeye. They're fine.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. It's not how it works, buddy. Anything else you want to mention about this trailer? You are the one who is the biggest fans of these characters, so it's all on you. Are they doing it well so far?
I mean, it looks like they're doing it well. I just want to see it. I'm kind of tired. I'm done waiting.
Yeah.
Right, just give
Well,
me.
all you have to wait is probably like 9 weeks, at least.
I mean, it's in July.
Oh, July. Never
July.
mind. No, it's in
I think
June. It's June
is
7th.
it? Oh, it's June 7th.
So
Oh,
there's
it's. I was only a
one,
couple of letters out.
two, three, 4, 5, 6. I'm all counting. It's like 2 months because it's about to be April.
8 weeks. Yeah.
8, 9 weeks. Yeah, it's gonna look good though. I think,
Yeah.
especially being able to see both. Like, and one of the things I love, of something like a Game of Thrones or even a Lost was that you had these separate worlds for certain characters, and then they would kind of like interact without interacting. I think more specifically in Lost, this would happen. Where they would always, you would see a character's backstory, and then you would learn later on that the other character was a part of that backstory. You just didn't know of it, or the main character didn't know of it. I feel like that's gonna happen here, where these two characters are gonna like interact without interacting. Like one of them's
I
gonna be
mean,
at a
we
store, and
know
one of them's
we
gonna
know
leave
that
out.
anyway.
Yeah,
They've kind of we've seen that already in
but
the
how
trailers.
will it? How will it act? Like a
Oh,
whole
how did it play out?
season, an episode?
They'll probably.
Because they're
I
not
can see.
meaning like the first 5 minutes.
I mean, I don't know. They could do.
It doesn't seem like it. It seems
And
like they
I
meet
I
later.
imagine like the first couple, they could even do like an Arrow where you have the island flashbacks. I hope not because that really got old really fucking quick.
Well, yeah, but just don't make it get old because that one didn't have the luxury of being put down to like 10 episodes, right? Because I assume this is like 10 episodes. I feel Lost was like 12 something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yes,
10.
around. So that's the whole flashback things could work for this one. I just know I'm excited and I'm curious as to the whole divine pairing aspect about it. I hope that doesn't go away because I actually, I love me some cosmic stuff or whatever, like stuff like that. It just seems like it could take it a different route, which would be
Yeah,
interesting.
I don't think it's gonna go that route at all.
You don't,
I'm struggling to remember actually.
yeah,
If they've used that term to describe them before, like maybe in like the old '80s, right?
because that's
I,
what I was about to say. I was like, if you really haven't heard it before, maybe it's just a new take of divine pairing and stuff like that.
I
Maybe
mean,
they
even
added something
if
new.
it like they are doing a new take, like divine
Yeah,
isn't
there's not
cosmic.
gonna be no like crazy stuff or anything like that,
No,
but
but I'm just
they're
saying like
yeah.
divine isn't a cosmic thing; it's a religious thing.
Okay, well, yeah, that's.
So
I just think
it's
there's gonna be like something bigger at play. That maybe it won't like a plane won't crash or anything like that, but it'll be something to set up for future seasons,
I
possibly.
mean, they could maybe tie it into the Runaways,
I would hope
and
so. You
those.
didn't you say that there is a possibility of it happening, or didn't
I
they
mean,
say they said there
the
was a possibility?
the way they're talking about it is season two of one of the shows will be have a crossover in it.
Probably Runaways more so than Cloak and
I'd
Dagger
imagine it's the Runaways.
because it's gonna be sooner rather than sooner than Cloak and Dagger season 2.
Yeah, we don't know when season two if it's going to get season two. So
You're right, right.
I imagine it. I don't see it, especially not with these reactions coming out.
Yeah.
And there's people like, oh, I'm halfway through the season. And it's really fucking good. It's like, well, I'm not even started yet. So can we just give me the show, please?
Yeah.
Waited too long.
All right. So with that, we're going into the next piece of news, which is Daredevil's. Daredevil season 3 cast Jay Ali as an FBI agent.
Oh, is that what he's playing? He's just a
Yeah, I think so.
rando agent.
Yeah. Do you know where that's from though, or how you say it? FBI agent?
It's the Dark Knight Rises, isn't it?
No, it's why am I forget? It's the '90s movie.
Or that
Point
narrows
Break.
it down.
Point Break.
Oh, I haven't seen Point Break in
Oh,
years.
okay, never mind. Yeah, I am an FBI agent. All right. Well, that's all he's cast as. So there's
I mean,
nothing
it's
more
cool.
to it. It's just this dude is gonna play an honest but ambitious FBI agent willing to go to any length for his family, which he's probably gonna
I
track
have no
down.
idea who he is. I haven't
Yeah.
seen him in anything, so
He's
cool.
probably gonna
Whatever.
track down Daredevil and try to be like, I'm finding the Daredevil. This is my life's work, something like that.
Yeah, probably. Or
Yeah.
he's like with
Are
Fisk.
we done with FBI agents being in these superhero movies? You know what I'm saying? Like, Punisher kind of like you said it
Uh,
wasn't your favorite part of it. Me, I was kind of iffy about it. Are we done with agents being a part of this?
I mean, they kind of have to naturally play a part,
It's true.
really.
It's true.
No.
At least law enforcement does in any sense, right?
You know, the girl from Punisher was just a horrible actress and a boring story, so that didn't work for me.
Yeah.
If you actually give them an actual character to be, then I can't see why it wouldn't work.
Yeah. Um, I I don't know. I'm not gonna go too much into it because it just doesn't seem like there's too much into it. I don't think he's gonna be some plot twist or whatever. I think he's just gonna be an agent out for Daredevil or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not too much to it. All right, going on to the next piece of news, which is gonna be talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. cast Craig Parker as a formidable alien. That's what they're saying on this article. This one could be something that's more than meets the eye because this.
I was gonna say he's a big name, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I'm not a Marvel.
Or he's a name. He's been in. No, I'm thinking the actor, not the
Oh, okay,
actual.
the actor. Okay, I thought you meant the character. The character I
Oh,
did look up, and there's really nothing to him, so maybe he's a new character.
what's the character?
Tyrion. There's nothing to the character. I looked up Marvel wikis
How
and stuff
how
like that
you
because I
how
didn't
you
know.
spelling? How you spelling it?
Taryan. I looked up stuff like that on Google and I didn't find anything.
T-E-R-Y-A-N. Oh,
Taryan.
T-A-T-A.
A formidable wheeler dealer from another planet. He will debut on the ABC series towards the end of season 5. Yeah, that's kind of it about him.
Yeah, that's a new character.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause there's not actually a wiki page. It's just
So
the MCU wiki
they said
page.
that in the comments, people who have seen him in other shows have said he excels at playing devious but fascinatingly, that's not a word, compelling villains. Very happy with the bit in use. Oh, he could be Cassius' father. Somebody said it here. That's an interesting take.
True, true.
I think they would have said it though as Cassius' father, or maybe they're hiding the fact that we're gonna go back to space, even though me and you have said it for a while now, or you more so than me. But
I mean, they go.
yeah, so maybe they're just hiding the fact that they're going back in that sense.
Yeah.
By
Well,
not
I mean,
saying
having
Cassius'
an
father.
alien kind of gives it away that they're going to space again.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing much short to it. We're gonna, of course, talk about more of Shield later. Good episode, so we're gonna talk about that. And yeah, I'm trying to think about like, there's nothing to it, right? He just cast. He's an alien, and he could be Cassius' father. That's an interesting take. We're probably gonna learn more about Cassius later, like, because I assume if we're going back, we're gonna see Cassius' father. There has to be.
Oh yeah, I mean they set him up. Why would you not ever see that finish?
Yeah, exactly. So, with that, we are gonna quickly move on because these two pieces of news, of course, weren't that much newsworthy in the sense. We wanted to let people know and kind of talk about it. So, last piece of news: Deadpool animated series by Donald Glover scrapped at FX. To me, it doesn't make sense.
I honestly forgot this was a thing.
But it doesn't necessarily make the most of sense. It's mostly due to creative differences, so that makes sense. But Deadpool was coming up and the movies and stuff like that, and this made sense in terms of happening. Like, okay, yeah, but
Well, obviously, Glover was more attached to it, and they only wanted to do it because of Glover.
yeah, well, I mean, that's what you do when you're a big producer and stuff like that. Like, you can make anything really you want. Like, if you're Donald Glover winning Emmys and Grammys and stuff like that, whatever is. So it says, due to creative differences, FX, Donald Glover, Stephen Glover, and Marvel Television have agreed to part ways on Marvel's Deadpool animated series. FX will no longer be involved with the project. FX and Marvel have an ongoing relationship through a partnership with Legion, which will continue. Maybe they just thought it wasn't the show for them. They're like, all right, sorry, we can't get this show, and maybe they'll shop it somewhere else. Would it be on a Disney XD? That would kind of ruin.
No, because it was R-rated.
Yeah, that would ruin Deadpool in general, right? So you can't have it on a Disney XD. They could sell it to a Cartoon Network or something like that. Adult Swim.
Yeah. I wonder if it's got something to do with it being R-rated and Disney not wanting the show.
No, because it wouldn't go on their service, right?
Why wouldn't it?
No, because you said if it's R-rated, then it probably wouldn't go on their service.
Yeah, I'm not saying it would go on their service.
Okay, no, I'm just saying, right? Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, maybe it's a thing that Disney didn't want it at the end, and they own the animation and TV rights.
Well, it says here it's more FX not wanting it.
I mean, I don't know. It probably just sounds like they didn't like what Glover was doing, and
which I find hard, to do because I feel like Glover makes a lot of gold out of.
I mean, so does Edgar Wright in the current man.
Who?
Edgar Wright.
Okay, I was like, I didn't hear what you said. So, I mean, maybe Glover just didn't know, like, have an eye for the character, and they're like, yep, never mind. Or maybe FX was like, nah, what we wanted was something more live action with Legion. They thought this would be good enough, but they're like, nah. I mean, there's a lot of ways you could go with this, honestly, because
I don't think they wanted anything live action because it was always billed as an animated series.
Yeah, but if it says due to creative differences, there's so many ways you could go with this. It could be either one's fault, and just we'll never know really. It's all just kind of he say, she say. So.
Creative differences is just code word for.
It didn't work out.
It wasn't amicable.
Yeah, or that too.
They fell out. It's just the stand.
So, per Variety, the Untitled Deadpool series was expected to launch in 2018 as a possible companion to Archer, which returns to its ninth season in April. At the time the project was scrapped, it was not in production or had any scripts been delivered to the network. So, I guess they just didn't like the pitch. Or I guess they liked the pitch, but they didn't like more into it.
Mm.
So Glover, of course, he made Atlanta with FX and stuff like that. So which is why a lot of FX probably took it on because I guess FX and Glover have this partnership already with Atlanta and some other stuff. So they're like, hey, okay, we'll take it. Never mind. Yeah. I feel like though, if you're a company like FX and you say no to a project, you just hope that they don't get mad and go away from you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like he's already making Atlanta, which is why a lot of people watch FX in the first place, if not for the movies, by accidentally watching them. But you just hope Glover doesn't see this as something, and I doubt it would. That's I just it's weird that this didn't
Mm.
happen. With Deadpool the movie, I felt like this was a for sure.
Maybe there's just some problems behind the scenes.
Yeah, that just
No.
that's most likely it. So
And I say that because I'm anti-Deadpool, apparently.
because you're what?
Anti-Deadpool.
Oh, well,
That's
I don't
the
really, yeah, I
It's
don't
like, okay.
care for the character too much either, really.
Yeah.
I mean, like I've always said, I thought the movie was cool. I probably loved it more so the first time, but I haven't, seen it in a while, and I don't really remember it as fondly, to be honest.
It's a, I've got no need to watch the movie again, so.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm alone on that though. Like,
No, you're not.
okay,
No.
just making sure. 'Cause I feel like sometimes I am, but at the same time, I guess maybe there's people just don't talk about Deadpool a lot anymore. Like even
It's
the
a
trailer
it's
that
a
came
story
out.
of every comedy. Every comedy goes through this. You always have the hype, and then it goes down, and then the sequel comes out, and you get the split.
Hangover, and all
Hmm.
those. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, all right. I guess with that, I guess we're done with news. Like that was kind of quick.
Yeah.
All right, we're done with news. That was kind of quick. So it's the shows of the week, of course. And in this segment, we of course talk about different shows that came out last week, different episodes. For this week, we have Dragon Ball Super, Krypton, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We're gonna be starting off with Dragon Ball Super episode 131, the ending to Dragon Ball Super.
Thank God. Thank God.
Real quick before we get straight into the show, I wanted to talk with you about this. Is this the end of Super or is this the end of the arc?
It's the end of Super.
Okay, so if they come back with Dragon Ball, it's gonna be called Dragon Ball something else, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure because that's what it felt like to me as an ending.
Mm.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball AF confirmed.
Of course, they have a movie that's coming out. I think it's just called Dragon Ball Super, and it's gonna take place after this show. Which, to me, I thought the other movies they had, the Frieza one and the Resurrection one, they were story points that were the first two arcs of the show. So I thought this new movie it will probably be the newest arc of the new show, but at the same time, probably not. Maybe this because those movies weren't necessarily in continuity. Those movies were just movies, and then they made Super and just redid the arcs, but differently a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Well,
this one's what's weirding me out a little bit.
Super was halfway in, like it's in between arcs of Z,
Yeah.
the timeline anyway. So
See, I still don't think it's in between
it,
arcs, anyways.
no, it is because they caught up with the timeline. They had to end it at some point.
How they fought Boo. Boo was at the very end. Boo was literally the ending to it.
Yeah, people have always said that they've caught up with the timeline.
Oh
and
no,
that's
see,
why...
we've had a conversation about this. No, this Super takes place not necessarily after Dragon Ball Z because the ending is like the ending, but I think after Kid Buu because Kid Buu does get reincarnated. I think you want to say, and in Super they talk about it that Kid Buu is being reincarnated, and I thought they were gonna pick up that storyline in Super, but I guess they're just gonna wait for another show or something like that. But yeah, it's just that's more so like the technical aspects about it. But like the TV show, if they come up with a new show, would it be just the new movie? Probably not. I think the movie will be in continuity in the show if they decide to do it another, which people are gonna want it because this is like they don't want it to go away, even though something should go away. Like Game of Thrones should go away. Like everything good should go away because then it ends up not being as good.
Super takes place in the 10-year time skip that Z had.
Yeah, and at the end of it, there's like a time skip to the end. To the end. So like, if I remember correctly, because I just know this is after Kid Buu and Kid Buu, they beat Kid Buu. They literally show flashbacks of them beating Kid Buu, and Kid Buu is literally the ending. There's like I think an episode where they do a time skip or something like that, or within the last episode they do a time skip. But yeah, so that's what you were probably talking about. It doesn't take place in the middle of Z. It takes place like towards the end.
I just heard it was set between certain arcs at one point, but
no. So okay, so going into this episode, this is the last one. What were they gonna do? They definitely crammed as much as they could. They definitely.
It was a typical ending. Like the entire thing ends in the first the first 5 minutes, and then the rest is just nothing.
I don't know how I feel about the ending being kind of like a montage.
Hasn't it always ended in a montage, like Dragon Ball?
I don't really remember that happening. Kind of weird, but everybody knew this ending was coming. Like, they're gonna wish them all back and yada yada yada. We all knew this ending specifically was coming. It was just how I was gonna get there. And for some part of this episode, I really liked, and I think it was because I mentioned you, but the episode where they said Goku, or they try to tell us that Goku was doing this because he cared for everybody and his friends and stuff like that. That's when I really just got hit in the face of like, why are they lying to me? Like, literally this whole tournament was started because Goku wanted to fight the strongest guy. It just seems like they try to switch it up and give Goku a character, and messed up what they were doing with Super, because Super was all about kind of being self-aware and knowing Goku is the one who starts everything, and Goku is not really like that caring, or he is, but he isn't. Like, he cares more about fighting than anything else, about being the strongest.
Yeah.
And then they kind of mess up his character, if he has a character, at the very end. It's a nice, heartwarming thing. It's like a typical, like, check all the boxes in the list and stuff like that. But it just, is it right to say anticlimactic?
No, I'd agree with you. Yeah.
I'm the more bigger fan of Super between the both of us, and I did enjoy a lot of Super. I did not enjoy really the Zamasu Black Goku arc, because that is just what is the word, like, just not confusing, but I guess confusing. That's just all around confusing with that time travel stuff. But I guess the best part of this episode just had to be when Goku and Frieza teamed up, right? It was literally the most interesting part of the episode, because you never really thought about that.
I mean, it's the most interesting thing Dragon Ball's probably done in years.
Like, the bad guy teaming up with the good guy. I never thought about it. And him saying, like, I'm still doing this for me and stuff like that. But I think,
just quickly, because obviously I haven't watched the entire thing. What are the promises that were made?
Okay, so Goku Goku started the tournament power by saying, hey, Lord, being from the originator who created everything, I want to fight the strongest guys. All right, he's like, all right, we're going to get the strongest guys of every universe, and it's going to be for the survival of your universe because of Goku, and that's why everybody thought Goku was the villain, because he literally put everybody's universes in danger of being destroyed. So Goku decided, hey, everybody's getting people from all around the universe, let me just get my friends, and I'll promise them something, so they have to do it. He promised Frieza to bring him back to life. He promised Android 17, we're going to get you a boat to travel the world with, even though all those promises were stupid, because you didn't need the Super Dragon Balls, which could do anything. All you needed was the regular ones. In a way...
I mean, do you need Dragon Balls for a boat?
It's true. They literally bought the boat, like, Bulma bought Android 17 the boat. Like, you really didn't need
it. Did she buy the boat? Because it was a capsule corp, doesn't she?
Yeah, she owns it. Well, yeah, she owns it, because she gave him a boat.
Like,
yeah,
have a boat. Yeah.
And then Frieza just got back alive because Beerus. So really, you didn't need the Dragon Balls for anything.
Yeah.
Which is, in a way, kind of messes up, like, the little story, that if they had a story.
But what was Frieza's promise then?
That I just wanted to come back to life. You know? He just wanted to come back to life. He was in hell.
No, that was Goku's promise to Frieza.
Okay,
what was Frieza's promise to Goku?
I think to just keep fighting him, if I remember correctly.
I mean, yeah.
Or something, or not killing him, or something like that. Yeah, like, typical villain stuff. I just won't kill you.
Typical.
Yeah,
Frieza.
typical. Yeah, but Frieza's actually, like, I guess the go-to.
There was an ounce of development here.
Yeah.
There's a tiniest of a character development for Frieza and Goku.
Yeah,
and then they kind of just went, nope.
Oh yeah, at the very end, we're like, I'm back to bad guy stuff.
Like,
I was like, come on, bro. But this, there's always two ways. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's two ways usually to end a story, right? Like an art or a series, right? A show. It's to have a definitive ending and where you bookmark the ending and you never go back there, or the ending where everything continues as normal and it's like you leave the show but you will remember that in somewhere else they're still continuing as normal. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
there's usually those two ways to ending, and this one went the everything's just back to normal, not the there's a definitive ending. So
Well, that's just every arc of Dragon Ball, really.
yeah, I mean you can see that with a lot of TV shows, right? Like I'm sure Game of Thrones is gonna do a definitive ending. What's the show that kind of like ended that had a, like they're back to normal type of thing?
Um, I
I
can't
mean,
think of.
I know specifically there's a show called Psych that did that, because the ending was just like, oh, they're back to doing like the mysteries and stuff like that. But yeah, so this one went the whole everybody's back to normal. Vegeta and Goku were fighting and yada yada yada. So it didn't feel as impactful because it felt like it should have had like a proper ending, like a bookmark ending.
Yeah.
But it is, you know what it is, and I will forever hate the creator slash writer of Super, the guy who made Dragon Ball, for not putting Gohan in Android 17's place. Forget, who cares about Android 17? Like that, I don't really care about him.
That's a can of worms.
Is he really? Are there fans of
Yeah,
Android
yeah,
17?
yeah, yeah.
Come at me, bro, because it literally should have
I
been
tell you what,
Gohan's moment.
Twitter fucking loves 17.
I don't.
Absolutely
I
loves
literally don't get it. I literally don't get it. What is his thing? Okay, he's a good guy now and he cares about his family. You know what? This should have been Gohan's development. This is Tournament of Power literally started off as a possible Gohan development like arc.
Yeah, but they don't like Gohan.
Yeah,
they never have.
which is why I also kind of hate Dragon Ball. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things why what I hate about Super and just Dragon Ball in general, of how they care more about just good action instead of story.
Yeah, but that's Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I know you're not gonna get away from that.
If you want story from Dragon Ball, watch Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
you're not going to get it from Z or Super at all.
Yeah. So it ended. Everybody's back to normal. I'm trying to think of like what else about. I mean, tell me, the Frieza and Goku thing was pretty good, especially the art or the animation of when Goku was fighting and he was gold and he was like going back and forth between regular and Super Saiyan. I thought that was pretty nice.
Yeah, but there's something off about the animation there. Like, it was a nice little touch that they had that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There was just something.
That was.
It looked different to everything else. It's like,
but that had to be like somebody's probably posted a picture on Twitter of like Goku and Frieza and OG Dragon Ball Z, and then here like somebody had to do the whole thing of something like that, right?
It's very much like when he first went Super Saiyan, actually, where
it just kept flickering. Yeah. Which I think is a pretty cool effect.
It's a nice little like indication that they're this far gone, but he's just at that point.
Yeah,
you stacked all like the different forms or whatever on top of each other. You can see like how far he's had to push. He's just down here. He's not up here still.
I don't think it helps the ending that Jiren had such a generic backstory.
I mean, all Dragon Ball villains have generic backstories.
Do you know? I told you a little bit about it, but I don't know if you remember.
What about his brother?
Yeah, no, his like generic backstory of like some bad guy came to kill his family, and now he's like, I want to be the most powerful.
I mean, they said it like 3 times in the last 3 episodes,
okay.
So
it's really generic.
I mean, it's a better backstory than what Cell had, or what backstory did Frieza get? Nothing.
That's true. He didn't really get a backstory. He just showed up, but yeah, I still think it should have been 17. I mean, 17 should have been out. It should have been Gohan. That's my. I will forever live on that hill. That's 17 to Gohan's place in the Tournament of Power, and it should have been him all the way to the end. All right. Next up, Krypton Season 1, Episode 1. Of course, you saw it. You just saw it. I did too today. This morning. First initial thoughts.
It's probably one of the most boring things I've ever watched.
Really?
It's generic sci-fi with Superman thing. That's it.
I actually really enjoyed it.
It's so bland. It doesn't help that the mother was the mother from Ray Donovan, and I can't take her seriously because she hasn't got the New Jersey accent. And I'm just like trying to.
Okay. I just don't know if the whole Brainiac thing is gonna be the season anything because they did mention
It
the
will.
Denegarians coming as well, which I don't know. I thought that was gonna be the
I
ending
mean,
thing.
they're fucking throwing everything in this season
No, which
anyway.
I mean I don't think it's the season. They said on the
No, it's gonna.
show that there would be possibility of
Yeah,
Denegarians.
they'll be talking about this series. They're not going to be talking about a season two.
You never
You
know.
don't do that as a show. You don't go, oh, our pilot hasn't come out yet, but for season two we're gonna do this. But no, you would hear whatever they talk about is going to be on this season.
Okay. That kind of makes sense. See, because that's what I thought. You know, Brainiac makes sense as being the villain or whatever of the season. I thought it was going to be the Thanagarians he was talking about, but I guess it makes sense as Brainiac, and Brainiac looks great. Yeah, I just got to say, I think that whole thing is great. I do love the Phantom Zone better here than kind of anywhere else.
Did we see the Phantom Zone here?
Well, no, but you saw the entrance to it. I liked it better than Man of Steel, where the entrance was just in outside the planet.
Where was the entrance?
In Man of Steel,
No, in this.
wasn't that the Phantom Zone where the grandpa walks in the beginning, and then he gets dropped down to it or something like that?
Oh, I don't know.
Because they said something about it in the snow or whatever, and the Phantom Zone they're usually slowing.
Uh,
So that's why I assumed it was the Phantom Zone. They didn't really call it like that, but I just assumed it was.
I was gonna say I don't remember the man
There-
ever saying the
There's
Phantom.
really never any other prison but Phantom Zone for Krypton. And
I mean, yeah,
yeah, so that's
but
why I assumed it.
I don't know. I think it's because the way they talk about it was more of a death, not he's being locked away.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, to a lot of people, Phantom Zone is death,
I mean,
basically.
yeah, I was about to say that, but
Yeah.
it's I don't know if it is it's thrown me because they keep saying death.
Okay, well, they need to say Phantom Zone, like I said. I thought the
I mean,
mom.
for everything else, why didn't they?
It's true. I
'Cause
thought.
this was hell bent on being like we're Superman.
Yeah.
It's like okay, I get it, but you're not Superman. Really, shut up.
I thought the mom stealing the thing really was a waste of time. Because you could have just told him. He didn't have to steal the thing, and you didn't have to die, technically.
Uh, I suppose, yeah.
I felt like that was just kind of like, you didn't have to do that. That went out of your way and to do that, to do all that and stuff
I
like
mean,
that.
that's just the show in a nutshell, and it really you didn't have to do that.
I just think this whole plot of S.H.I.E.L.D, the dude, honestly, the show probably should have been about Jor-El instead of his dad. If you wanted to make a
Yeah,
Krypton show.
yeah. If you're gonna have to do it, then
It should have
at
been
least
Jor-El, and he would have been friends with Zod, and we would have saw the nice side of Zod, and you would have saw his progression to becoming the villain that we all know. And I mean, that goes back to Smallville and Lex Luthor and Clark and stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah, but I felt like that would have been a pretty good one too. You didn't even have to see Zod in the first season. Maybe you could have saw him in one episode, and if they had a season two, bring him more for that one and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I
But boy, did they like to tell you who it's just like, oh, this is Zod, 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 Zod.
see,
It's like, yeah, I get it, it's Zod.
I didn't hear them say that a lot for some
They
reason.
said Zod like every
I
5
honestly
seconds.
didn't hear it, which is so
It's
weird.
just like,
I think I heard it once.
and then they say like the House of L about 6 times. It's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I know who they are.
Because I think because of what their grandpa did. What Superman's great grandfather, which should have just been Jor-El. Like, why couldn't you have just made it Jor-El?
Yeah,
It would have made
it's
a lot more
probably
sense.
it might have been an embargo thing, but
Maybe. That's stupid because this would have just made a lot more sense if it was Jor-El, and that's my main complaint, that it should have just been Jor-El.
it's probably because that I don't know if there ever was gonna be a prequel. I really doubt it, but they could have gone. They could have thought about it that way. It's like, oh, it's a prequel. We can't afford Russell Crowe for a sci-fi series. Not that he'd ever do it. So let's just do before Jor-El and lead into Russell Crowe. But
I mean, I don't think it's gonna be connected to the TV show. I mean, to the movie,
I mean,
anyways.
it's not. They said it, but I'm
Yeah.
saying that might have been, if it ever was supposed to be a prequel.
Okay.
That could have been a train of thought.
I really enjoyed this episode. It's just a lot of stuff just felt like unneeded, like the time travel plot for sure,
I
and
mean,
the
it
whole
shows-
hourglass thing. Did not like that.
Oh, what, the cape?
Yeah, the
It's an
cape being the
hourglass.
hourglass thing. I mean, that's cool to an extent, but at the same time, that goes back to my thing of like, oh, well, you know when the show's gonna end, right? As soon as it's gonna go out, and then they save it, and then it's back to normal, and like the show ends.
Mm.
It gives too much in one episode when you really should have
I
held
mean
back.
that's just a pilot.
Yeah, well, I want more, like, more culture stuff about it.
It's,
I want to learn some
I mean, like,
politics. I want to know the hierarchies of this.
see, my problem is we already know all that.
I that to
Like
that to the extent they're gonna do. You act like we know every house in Krypton.
I mean, I'm not saying we know every house.
We know
but like,
two
we
main
know,
ones,
like, we know how their structure worked anyway.
but
We're
that's the
sitting.
movie. Even the comics did it differently. The show is probably gonna do it differently too,
I mean, it doesn't look like it's done it differently.
a little bit. It's
They
like an
just
army,
try,
but
just been like, oh no, we're gonna throw L down.
especially with the guy Rao, who's like the
The
figure.
voice.
Yeah,
Of
the
Rao.
voice of Rao, which we know there's a book of Rao later and stuff like that. That's still not.
And
Yeah.
he's clearly the living tribunal.
So
So
that's why I'm curious as to, like, I really want more of, like, the politics of this like planet, and kind of like more of the different houses. What other houses are there? Can we see some of the other structures? And I love that he did, like, it did take from Man of Steel, where Seagal was saying, "It doesn't that bother you that you know the whole life of your kid without you didn't even have a say in it." I love that he's gonna be the kind of upstart too, even though his grandpa was the one who did. But which still should have been true.
that's another problem. We know whatever he does doesn't do anything because it carries on.
I mean, what if in this part of the show the Superman? I mean, it is a separate show. It literally could do whatever.
Yeah,
it
I know,
wants.
but in like you can't have a time traveler come in and be like, oh yeah, this is a thing, and it's like, well, we know the end result, don't we?
I mean, it could end differently because it's so isolated. Ooh, Green Lanterns and the Omega Man could show up, bro. I'm so down for this. This is literally cosmic DC for this. This is gonna have, like, all the cosmic characters in this because they won't be able to do them in the movies because the movies take too long and nobody wants to watch them anymore. Nobody gonna do it in the CW shows because they look too cheap. You're better off on Sci-Fi, which is not a bad thing because Sci-Fi's been making good shows.
I've yet to see that with this.
I just think the time travel plot's weird, the main part of it. But other than that, like, I think this is probably gonna be, like, a good show for me in terms of, like, in my repertoire, my schedule, like, me watching it. I don't think I'm gonna miss it for 5 episodes or miss the whole season and rewatch it because, like, I'm doing with the CW shows.
I'm probably not going to bother. I will
No,
catch
sure.
up. I will
Yeah.
catch up with it for the finale. I'll do that.
I'll keep talking about it when there's important stuff.
So we'll talk about it at the finale.
No, probably in the mid-season
Literally
finale.
nothing in this show is going to be important.
How many episodes is it?
I think it's
No,
10.
because if Darkseid shows up in one of them, I'm gonna talk about it.
You're
that'd
not going to get fucking Darkseid.
Or if Green Lantern or the Denegarians.
If Darkseid was going to show up, you'd have heard about it by now.
Season 2, if they get one. If any character, like if the Omega Man show up, or a Green Lantern, or the Denegarians. I mean, Adam Strange showed up in this episode. If something happens,
No, a guy in a hoodie and a hat showed up in this episode.
it's Adam Strange.
A
I
guy.
did love that he say, is that like a house? Like, no, it's the Detroit. I thought that was funny.
Actually cringed.
I thought that was hilarious. I don't know. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this show. We're gonna go on to the last show.
I was like, you forgot something, and I was
No.
like, oh, you're talking about Krypton.
Yeah.
Not this episode. Yeah.
Last show of the day. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5, Episode 14. The Devil's Complex.
They're gonna break my heart.
Really good episode. I didn't see the twist coming, which, of course, it is spoiler, so we can say the twist. The twist was that we all thought Leopold, which is what I'm gonna name the other Fitz.
I mean,
Fitz.
that's literally his name.
Okay, that's what I'm
That's
naming.
how they separate him.
He shows up, and we all think it's part of the fear dimension and stuff like that. Until then, you realize Fitz pulls a whole thing where his brain takes a back seat to the Leopold side of it.
No, they jump back to when he was seeing Gemma everywhere.
Yeah,
A couple.
but
of
he was
seasons
actually
back.
doing the stuff.
I mean,
It-
yeah, but it's they made that connection. It's like,
No,
oh,
that's
he
what I'm
still
saying.
had-
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's actually doing the stuff.
Mm.
He's just seeing Leopold, so because I guess his conscience or his heart or his brain can't take that he would do something like that, so he has to create something in his head that would do that stuff, because in his his instincts say this is the right way. This has to be done, but he just can't
Yeah.
do it. So his brain has to create something to be able to pull that off, or else he would just kind of like crack under the pressure until then he realizes.
As he said when it was they were
Yeah,
talking about when he was seeing Gemma, like she was the conscience.
yeah, and he's like,
So you've obviously now got the devil, the devil
oh,
and
so
angel.
she's the angel and he's the devil. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. It's cool.
Literally, Fitzsimmons' devil on the shoulder is Fitzsimmons.
Oh, yeah, yeah, and I mean, I very much did enjoy this episode, especially towards the end. I didn't know if they needed Gemma throwing up, but it was a nice little moment. Like I
That
get
makes
it.
that.
It didn't make. I was kind of like, oh, they were in a kind of pretty moment, but I mean,
I can't, what was the context of that? I can't remember.
because
It was Deke. It was Deke.
Deke was
Yeah.
saying,
I just
these kinds of-
because like what a reaction to have. Just
yeah, that's why that's kind of like I didn't like it per se because of that, but the one thing I will say is the character for Deke keeps switching it up. First off, he's regular Deke. Then he loses his voice, and now he gets a haircut.
See, to me, he didn't sound any different to last week.
Really, he sounded way different than last week.
Sounded no different to the week before.
Gosh, I'm hearing something else. Like I literally heard him like he lost his voice or something like that.
You got the tacos in your ears.
But what's a show or movie that did this where like he wasn't there? Lost, I guess, did something like that, right? Because I always loved this aspect of it.
I mean, tons of shows.
That's what I'm saying. What are some of the ones that recent? Because I just really love this aspect of stuff like that.
I honestly can't remember.
I know there's some.
I'm not good with just pulling things off the top of my head.
Oh, the thing that comes to me the most was Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I don't know why.
If that was a show, that might.
No, but the game, that just comes to my mind. Lost, I think, did that as well. I don't think any of the CW shows did that. Or I'm trying to think of movies because I do love this aspect of the main character, seeing somebody there, but they were never really there to begin with. You know what I'm saying? I really like that. I didn't necessarily like how he broke out of concentration and he just started realizing like what happened. I thought that was a little weird. I don't know if you're the same with me. Probably not.
No, I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Like it just felt weird of how he broke out of it. Like he just shaked his head and then the music wasn't really there. I was just like, what's happening? It confused me a bit. Maybe it was supposed to. But yeah,
I mean the like visual and audio cues, it was fine.
maybe
It worked
I don't know. To me, it just felt weird. But I did like the breakthrough. He's like, especially at the end where he even says, "I just still think it's right," and that's
and Gemma agrees. It's
yeah,
like
it was the right thing. Like, are we
It
supposed to let Daisy hold us back? Maybe not do it like that. Maybe have her consideration.
I say, can we not pull like whatever the fuck that was, like 6 foot of rope out of the back of someone's ear?
Yeah, without hurting them. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we have all this technology we could have done in the first place. Why didn't he just talk to her? I guess maybe he was so overworked he didn't even realize it was happening, right?
I mean, if he could just go and talk to her about it, he wouldn't have had the whole Leopold bit.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he could have, but he was just, to me, it felt like he was overworked. That's what they even say. There's a part in the episode where it's like, "You okay?" It's like, I don't know what's happening. Yeah.
But Daisy would never have agreed to that anyway, because she's so adamant that she's the one.
You know,
I'm thinking she's been told the entire season that she's the one that causes everything. So her having the powers is a way for, like, to let her know.
And
whereas now she's like, I'm gonna do it. I can't not do it.
This goes against my theory that Fitz and Simmons and Daisy are gonna have their own show because now Daisy's never gonna forgive Fitz for this.
I mean, she is.
No, she's not. That's a waste. She can't.
No.
She can't. She has to be always have this thing about Fitz that he did that to her.
Here's what happens if they can fix it, and with that she has the powers. You can go, look, I was right. You know.
They did
maybe
fix
not,
it though.
Maybe not literally do when I told you so.
They did fix it though.
No, but I mean the whole planet thing.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm sure. Maybe if she realizes it wasn't really her fault, which I doubt it still is.
It's not. They're too busy with gravitonium.
Yeah,
it's like, just bring
him. Yeah.
We all know it's graviton at this point. Just bring him in. Yeah. But anyway, we know more of what's her face's team now. They have the Russian guy.
It's not Red Skull. I wish it was.
What, the guy at the end?
Yeah, I wish it was. It was not, but I wish
Yeah.
it was. I really wish it was because it would make sense, the most sense.
I
Ah,
mean, he's like, have it be a Strucker.
that too. Because do you know how whenever the World of Wakanda thing?
Actually,
Oh, God.
no, no, don't have it be a Strucker.
Who's it
Have
gonna
it be
be?
Kraken. Bring Kraken back.
Oh, that too. Yeah, that'd be.
Bring Daniel Whitehall back in the full
Oh,
Kraken.
that would be so nice, wouldn't it? So, I guess to kind of wrap up the show, like I'm excited for where it's gonna lead, especially since I I knew like General Hell wasn't gonna be the last part. Like there had to be something more. I just didn't know what, and I was like, I thought it was really cool that Hydra. It's Hydra. Hydra's back. Like Hydra's never gonna go away. I think that's so comic-y. You know what I'm saying? Like that's so cool.
Yeah, I was.
Do
I
you
don't
hate
know.
that?
I'm split on it. It's like, oh, it's Hydra again.
Oh, you think it's kind of generic, like general? Like, oh, come on, we already did it like 3 times
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I get it if you're gonna have the season end
with Hydra.
or a show end and you're writing it as the end of a show, then sure, bringing it full circle makes sense.
Yeah.
But they did Hydra for like every season.
They
So,
kind
okay.
of did, right? Yeah, you're right. Even think
But
about
then
that.
Shield, Hydra, it's
They're
you can't,
synonymous,
you can't really do
one without
much
the
else.
other. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that makes sense, and I'm just curious as to how this whole alien Hydra thing works. We'll see who this character is.
I want to know what the background was saying.
It's probably
Like
some weird language. I don't
what
know.
text was that? Was that Kree?
Maybe.
Could be Kree. Was it Skrull? We don't know. We know
We
the
don't know.
Skrull language exists in the MCU because it
You
was
know
in
what?
Guardian.
What's weird is that they're probably gonna go back to the future, right? Which is a thing, and they have this. So which is gonna be the final story? Is it
But
gonna be this?
obviously Hydra is part of it.
Oh, going back to the future. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I thought there were gonna be two different storylines. That one was gonna have to take over.
No, no.
Okay.
I mean, we've got another storyline going on now, but it's connected to the time travel stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Because there's this whole like who was Jennifer Howard doing, and she get into Thunderbolts and stuff like that, and
She's getting something together. I don't know.
we're calling it Thunderbolts for now, because
Yeah.
we'll just call it like that.
But it's such a weird team. You've got Alex Werner or Strucker.
Ooh, what's his power, anyways? Remembering stuff. Okay.
He remembers
Okay.
everything.
He's probably the leader, I guess.
No, he's not going to be.
He's gonna be the leader because,
Uh,
like, remember what your daddy said. He was the leader. Yada yada yada. And
True. You got whoever the fuck Ruby is. I don't even know if
she's
she's made up.
so creepy, bro. Like, I just literally don't even want to see her face.
She's got that proper deadpan.
Yeah, and I'm
And
like,
well
I
done
don't
for her putting off a deadpan properly.
I think that's her
you-
character.
Yeah, so I'm saying well done for her for putting
Yeah.
that up properly.
Yeah, it's so like I hate it.
And then you got Crusher Krill and this random Russian, and it's like, okay.
Well, I'm sure.
Or Modok, as people keep trying to push that in.
No, I'm
that
sure.
Stuff.
Oh yeah, the Russian, right? Yeah, I thought you were talking about the Hydra. You know, for a second I thought Hell was LMD.
Who was in
General Hell. I thought she was in LMD. For a second.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you would have thought she
Yeah.
would be going on the ship, but
Yeah,
or the
for a
plane.
second I thought she was in LMD. So
Then it's
know-
like, you can't make LMDs. That's why they've got no faces.
yeah, that's yeah. I remember I didn't like that part of season 4 where like the random Russian came in and Coulson that was like arch enemy. I was like, yeah, I could do away with this, to be honest.
But he's not random. He's Modok.
Oh, he's Modok apparently.
All because he said only for killing. It's like, no.
Also, wouldn't they have a flashback? Oh no, they didn't. I saw the clip for I think it's season 1 when Thor the Dark World happened and they had to clean up the mess. You remember that part?
Yeah.
So I saw a clip for it on YouTube, right? And I saw Fitz, and I was like, wow.
He looks so different.
Wow. This dude matured. Puberty did
Yeah.
well for this guy. His hair is different. His voice is different.
It's what happens when It's what happens when Scottish people get sunlight. They just age
You're
like really rapidly. It's kind of worrying. Like he'll no doubt just turn to dust in that.
but I just thought it was so cool, and I'm curious. I hope they don't keep Fitz locked up too long. I'm sure Costa's gonna find out.
No, they won't. No.
I'm sure Costa's gonna be the most reasonable about this, right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he has to be.
He'd be
It's
like, but did it work though?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
did it work?
I hope he says that too. But did it work? It's like, yeah. I was like, well, I mean, take him out then. He did what he was. I mean, he didn't go about it the right way, but he got the job done. Right? He saved the world. So,
Also, why is Yo-Yo getting metallic arms, but Colton gets a nice normal one?
uh, don't know. Maybe they don't have time to put the whole like extra stuff on it and stuff like that.
It's just, oh, well, he was talking about adding bells and whistles to it, so
Yeah, I think he
this
also
is
wanted to keep it an element of surprise. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, this is
So,
racism. That's what it
oh,
is.
that I mean that too. Yeah,
The white guy gets the white hand, but the Latina gets the chrome hand.
I agree. Um, yeah, I think that's gonna about do it for us. Talking about Shield and just TV shows. I can't wait to see what happens next on Shield because this is a great show. I just how many episodes are there left? Let me check.
We're on episode
One,
14, so you
two,
got
three, four,
8.
5, 6, 7, 8. You're right. 8 episodes. The next one's called Rise and Shine, and then it's Inside Voices. Then it's The Honeymoon.
Oh, that's gonna be a sad one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Also, the next one, Coulson uncovers General Hell's real agenda, and it could be the end of the world if S.H.I.E.L.D. can't stop her. Coulson is forced to team up with unlikely allies to save the world, while his team tries to track him down and rescue. That's episode 16, Inside Voices. Sad face. I'm gonna be gone out of town that episode, so I don't know if that Friday, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see it.
Gasp.
At the same time, hopefully I don't get.
I mean, watch it on the Monday.
Yeah, but hopefully I get to see it before any spoilers. Cause I always try to see it before any spoilers.
I mean, I never see spoilers for this.
That's true. It's very true. Everybody in the community for Shield is so respectable because they don't give spoilers. Actually, probably if you went to Shield Twitter,
if you
you'd
really
find
want
them all.
to, I was gonna say, as long as you don't follow the Shield Twitter page,
Yeah, you'd be good.
you're not on Twitter when it's airing on the East or the West Coast, you'll avoid spoilers completely
Yeah.
because they literally live tweet it twice, and it's like, okay, fuck off.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, is that gonna about do it for us? I take so.
Yeah, I think
So
it's
with that, we'll see y'all next time.
toodles.